Welcome to another match analysis. Today's match is going to be on Belaya RAAS v3 as Blue 4, and I'm going to choose to run a small clan squad. I'm planning at this point in time to do a 3-man command squad, which allows me the ability to spend more time focusing on my command assets, as well as doing what I traditionally do as an SL, which is just building fobs everywhere. The downside, of course, being that I don't have people under my command who I can have spawn at these hubs, so I'm relying more on the rest of the team. But ultimately it makes for a much more laid-back and pleasant experience when it comes to just straight-up squad leading, only having to pay attention to 2 people, and those 2 people being clanmates. Now that doesn't entirely work out because I get a couple messages and I invite a couple other people, but ultimately the plan stays somewhat similar, even if I do have people fighting a bit more actively that I'm also paying attention to for the duration of this match.
Advance and secure.
So what is the IBHM squad going to do, brother?
I'm gonna keep us at 3-man, probably do command stuff. Grab a logi.
Yo, y'all got a Discord link? Something else. Competent equal hat.
One more time. That'll work. What did you say?
It was alright, Billy.
Do you have a disc link?
You keep your.
You guys have a Discord, BHM?
Yeah, I'll add you and send it to you, or get one of my guys to send it to you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate.
Well, why don't you search for data juice and friends chat, or
I am just data
Discord
juice on
players.
Steam. It's fun to collect Discords.
You know what I'm trying to say. Steam players, and send them our Discord. It's a Sigma attack guy, I think.
Nice.
What'd you say his name was? Fucking Data Juice?
Yeah.
And you want to give him the CMD tag? Or the CMD
No,
Discord?
the BHM Discord. He's just asking for it. Belaya RAAS v3 is a 5-flag layer with only 1 lane, so our backcaps are not going to help us clarify the midpoints at all. Right now I'm looking over to my sheet so I can mark all the potential midpoints for the rest of my team. I'm going to mark all the potential midpoints for everyone.
Do you want to send me an invite?
I want to look at recent.
I can if you want.
You have to go
Those
in
are all the
front,
potential
I think.
midpoints. I'm adding him to the squad.
What was his name? Sorry.
He's squad 2 lead. Data juice.
We're all gonna talk local if
I got
that's cool with you. That way these other guys kind of get the picture that we're having fun.
You guys are having fun.
We're having a blast in here.
So you guys know my main RAAS strategy. I rush one of the mids or one of the potential lanes, and then I try to get a light vehicle handling backups. Now, Britain doesn't have any light vehicles. You can claim some of the bulldogs with no crewman role, but it's, you know, a bulldog. It's super slow. It's a pain in the ass to have in my squad. I don't want it. I am just going to deal with it with my logi truck, especially since at this point I still intend to have 3 or possibly 4 people in my squad. And so there's not really a whole lot of breathing room for me to actually rush a mid, try to hold it, and get 2 people into a light Vic to handle efficient backups. So ultimately I decide that I'm just going to dedicate myself to the backups and then try to get everyone else pushing up. As is always tradition with RAAS, we do have 1 full squad with their move mark on the very first flag, so I'm going to explain my intent and try to get them to push one of the mids.
Hang on, let
gonna
me
take
get a closer look at that.
Once again, all
Oh,
the
shit, I
This
midpoints
is a
are
party
marked.
bus. Hop in.
I would go to one of the flags if you have a full squad. I can handle the backups. I have a small squad. Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and spawn in.
What's poppin', B?
I sent you a friend request. I don't know. I can't message you directly.
There's one more dude, SQD, Lil Scrimp. He sent him an invite if you like.
Little scrimp.
Lil.
Welcome. Still have 20 seconds. Good spawn in.
Greetings, Commander.
Very nice.
Is there anywhere?
I accepted the invite.
You want
buddy,
squad
on
4 to
Steam.
go?
You can send me a message whenever. It's fun to collect Discords.
So if I pause here, we can kind of talk about our early game. Since I'm not covering one of the mids, I'm leaving a lot up to my team. Fortunately, the guy who had his moo mark on the first flag has adjusted and is going to Gabuke, and that's a good location for the first Logi to go. It's the safest one. It's pretty much the only one that you could beat Militia to pretty easily. All of the rest of them are either pretty much on even footing or heavily in Militia's favor. The two southern flag marks are Nicola and Caracal, both of which Militia will usually beat Britain to. The Caracal one can be pretty even, but it depends on people's driving. Ultimately, going to Gabuke isn't the worst idea because it's one of your safest fobs, and then you can generally work towards those two objectives from that fob. It's not a competitively close fob, but at the very least, it is something to work with. However, right now my biggest concern is probably train tunnel. If it goes there, we are going to have big issues since Militia will usually rush it and can beat people there by miles, and nobody's really going to that side of the map to counter it. But ultimately, we're just in a bit of a sticky spot. As you heard, the other 9-man infantry squad asked in command chat where he should be going, and I missed it at the time, so I don't get to give him any advice. However, fortunately for me, down the line the other SLs start talking to him, and the other SLs give him good advice. You'll hear him pop up in command chat again pretty shortly asking where he should go, and while I'm kind of trying to think of a response and also talk to my squad, fortunately the rest of the squads talk to him and give him good advice, so ultimately I don't have to worry about that.
And you single-handedly won us the game, both of you, so.
Would that be dual-handedly?
Okay, buddy, you're acting too friendly, pal.
Or even
I'm creepy.
quad-handedly?
That's a great
You're
one.
acting Canadian.
We'll ponder that. That's a great one.
Is anybody gonna use the armor?
I need to drop somebody off at the back cap. Data, your
No,
grenadier.
you guys can
Each
take
of the
it if you
shotgun
want.
and stick here.
Whoever's ready to
I'm gonna drop you at lumber.
Good luck.
Sorry, buddy. I can hear you for like most of that. I got Discord going and then another call.
I'm gonna drop you at lumber.
Okay, right on. That's fine. You volunteered to back cap or someone make you? Either way, it's unfortunate.
I volunteered. I'm trying to get all the squads to go to the mids, if possible. I got one squad to go to one of the
Hurting
mids,
cats,
so
dude. Hurting cats.
25%
Hurting cats is
chance.
fun.
We're out.
When it comes to my route for backcapping, I really should have checked my two potential backcaps earlier. I did see that there were only two of them, and I did kind of assume that they were on either side of the map, but I was a bit busy trying to talk in command, and I didn't really totally formulate a plan for getting to them efficiently. So I'm going to drop my first guy off at the first flag, of course, and then I'm going to realize that it's coal mine and tire factory, which are on opposite ends of the map. So what I should have done is I probably should have dropped two people off at the first flag and then just had one start walking towards coal mine, and then I should have drove back to take care of tire factory, and that probably would have been more efficient. But instead, I'm already heading a little bit west when I make this realization, so I drop somebody off at the river to walk to tire factory, and then I drive back to coal mine. With that setup, if it goes to coal mine, my backcaps are still going to be perfectly efficient one after the other, but if it were to go to tire factory, they'll be a little bit late. It's a little bit annoying that Britain doesn't have a light vehicle. Unfortunately, they will be getting the Fox Sound in the future, which will resolve a lot of this, and I could just split two ways and handle things more effectively. But for the time being, I'm a little bit embarrassed that I just dedicated 5 people to backcapping, which is a little bit more than I normally would on Belaya, and I'm going to be inefficient at it. That's just something to work on improving in the future, and next time I play RAAS v3, I will keep in mind how split the backcaps are and immediately start thinking about that rather than thinking about it after I drop off my first guy. We're playing as Brits, so I would have grabbed a light vic and just split us, but Bulldogs are so fucking slow. So we're gonna have to go from end of the map to end of the map to handle second cap.
what's it stand for? I gotta sort you alphabetically correctly. BHM is...
It depends on who you ask. But the B stands for big.
See, I was wondering, because you didn't advertise it. So I was wondering if it was just one of those.
Okay, it is
Big hairy
factory.
men.
That's a common one, yeah.
Should I just get a fob on factory?
Beard,
Nah, just go for mids.
Yeah,
I got my guy
big.
running to factory
That's
right
good,
now.
that's all I need.
All the mids are marked on the map with red flags.
I would go to
All the
train,
possible
maybe I
points
might
in my
go that
ass.
way.
I'll go there.
So telling this other SL to go to train is a good call. He's already in the area and it's the mid I'm the most worried about. But right now I kind of have to make another decision. I have no real gauge for this guy's skill level, so I'm immediately tempted to say, hey, be careful around train, they can rush it and they're probably already there. But that can work both ways, honestly. It could prevent him from driving straight in and getting destroyed, but it could also encourage him to build a fob way short of train that's not going to be practical, and then walk on foot, which is going to make it harder for him to be effective there and harder for him to relocate. So I just decided to sit back and see how it goes.
I can't wait for FTLs to be able to clear those fob creation marks, dude.
Okay, I can pick you up when I do a lodge run, or you can just respawn, it's your call.
That's fine.
I'm heading for
I'll just
Caracal.
run,
I'm probably
I've
gonna get
got
fucked.
mine.
So at this point we have Gabuke covered, we have train tunnel covered. It remains to be seen how effective it's covered, but it's going to be covered. And so I have two other midpoints that now I'm looking at fobbing, now that I've essentially handled back apps. First off, there's Caracal, which is close and is on the east road, and ultimately that ends up being my decision. And then next there's Nicola, which is going to be my next priority, assuming that I get to Caracal in one piece. I really am throwing the dice, rushing straight in this late in the game.
Actually, I do need to know the second word because BGK, Big Gucci Killers, is in competition with you alphabetically.
Doesn't G win over? Over H?
Wait.
I mean, I'm no alphabetist,
I gotta tell you,
but...
I'm very tired. I am very tired. Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get a fob up
That's
here.
very
Train.
bad. That's sad. Damn.
Okay, go ahead and dump 6. We at least have 2 of 4 covered. But train's gonna be a bitch if it goes there. Okay, we have 2 of 4 covered. It's gonna be a bitch if it goes to train tunnel. They probably rushed it. Also, I'm behind on back caps. I apologize for that. There were 2 on opposite ends of the map.
Are you guys large enough right now that you fuck around with pump?
We've joined a couple teams for various events, but we don't normally.
You merc.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a Zeus. Or no, BMP1. They actually have one. That's sketchy. Let me know if you need ranging. Probably shouldn't with AT4, but... That's train covered, so we're looking good unless it goes Caracal. Or not Caracal, fucking Nicola. 3, you're walking into an BMP, careful. Alright, let Ang do his thing, hop in. We got another squad here.
Oh, you want to range that? That's probably like 100. I probably don't need that.
Right on 100.
I'm gonna prep for worst case and head to Nicola. Or, yeah, Nicola.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is tracked. They're gonna prepare it.
As long as he hold it there for a bit. It's good news. Hey Data, if you want to hold your spawn, just wait for the midpoint to pop up. If it spawns somewhere that people are leaving, where we have a fob, start capturing it. It's gonna be on one of our 3 fob locations, or it's gonna be over here. In which case, that's where I'm heading right now. I'm just hoping their back caps are also a little inefficient, because ours weren't fantastic with having to cover coal and train, or factory. Just give me the Fox sound, please. OWA.
Fox sound, huh?
It's their MRAP. Nicola, it would be. It would be. It would be the one we didn't cap. I'll start heading there now.
Guy with a Logi 2 coming in from the direct.
So the enemy team managed to throw away two big advantages. First off, they threw away their ability to rush train or caracal, which in turn allowed us to get them even when we were significantly late to those midpoints. Second of all, we had inefficient backcaps and they couldn't really capitalize on it. Their backcaps were no more efficient. They have multiple light vehicles, and even two light Vics on two ends of the map can make extremely efficient backcaps for them, even if they have no idea where the flag is going to pop up. And then the third thing they're going to throw is the defense of Nicola. They are there right now, and they are going to not succeed in taking out the Logi barreling in from the north right now.
The classic drive right in. Get mowed down.
They kept the Logi alive, I'll give them that. If they get a radio, it's actually... there we go. You spoke too soon, Aang. It's a BHM move right there.
No, I think the BMP was rolling towards it.
Oh, they just captured the other back.
Yep. We got some time though.
Did you kill the beam?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Oh, that's right, it went out fucking.
New fob's coming up soon. If you guys are waiting, I'll place a rally so you can spawn in. So right now I'm going to assume that they have a centralized fob, and I'm also going to assume that we're going to get our northwest fob up. It seems that way at the moment. And as I've always said, when I have fob v fob wars, I never consider that to be something we can win. I will always assume the worst and assume that the people on that flag right now are going to push up and kill our fob, so I'm immediately working on alternatives. It only takes one lucky sapper or one good flank from the enemy team to fuck us over, and I need to get us a second spawn, which will in turn allow us to make a stealthy push and try to take out their spawn from an unexpected angle when they're least expecting that. I'm going to push and try to halt. I'm guessing they're keeping 3 on the edge, or they have a fob centralized. I'll look for that too. We're going to have to move the truck eventually. I just want to get a push on Nicola first. We can't afford to let them see factory. They are firing from inside these buildings, and it's a... yeah, it's a common fob. It's probably... I'm going to wait on the wall for proxy. There we go, halted. It's not in here. There are people, no fob. I'm gonna go knife this guy real quick.
I saw the Logi come up.
I fucked it up. I'm bad at the game. There's one in here.
Quick.
Good, decent kill with the rifle. I'm gonna go knife him. He's not looking at me.
Hey, what's life without a bit of humiliation?
Killed 2.
Rally stomped. They're on radio to your south.
We're taking the point back.
Pulling trucks away from radios is always a great idea so that people don't see the radios. Fortunately, they didn't actually see ours in this instance. They just walked by. But always move trucks when you can. They probably have a spawn down south here. They're probably giving up and
Yeah, they
spawning
have
on our
multiple
fob.
people coming in, loading train.
So when you're fighting over the midpoint like this, timing is essential. I pushed it damn quick on the south in order to try to halt Cap as quickly as possible, and halting Cap ended up being quite easy. So now I can relax and I can focus on the mid. However, if I was in this situation where I was pushing it and there was heavy contact, I can't afford to just sit here and keep trying. They are going to capture the mid, they are going to expose coal mine as our next flag, and you always need to assume that when a flag is full captured by the enemy, your next flag in line will immediately start going down afterwards. I'm still not sure how sustainable the midpoint is. I don't know if they have a fob inside that I just missed with that push, or if it's just a handful of people capping that'll get overwhelmed. I don't know if they have a spawn down here like I'm assuming. I still don't know entirely which way the midpoint's going to go, but what I do know is that we can contest the cap for long enough to start working on it and not have to worry about the next flag quite yet. Yeah, no C4, no IED. I don't think they heard it. They didn't find ours. We don't even know where their hab is yet. It's probably east of me.
Enemy hab is accurate. Squad 4 if you want to tailor your big.
Kill 3 on hab.
Okay, I'm going behind looking for spawn.
Alright, I'll let them know.
I got the guy who was rezzing the one you killed. Yeah, I'm leaving this for you guys. I need to go get this truck back a bit. Get ready for next flag.
Go ahead.
Unless... How many did I build? No, I still have 6. You come with me, Stiff?
Sure can.
At this point, guys, if you go down, hold spawns. I'm going to next flag. I'm gonna need a 3rd capper.
Enemy lightning going up the road.
So
It's
when
made
you
a mark.
die,
It's on
hold
east side.
spawns. So right now, another SL calls out the fob to the east on Nicola, and you can see it on the map here. Now, I'm assuming now that cap range is probably fine, but regardless, I need to be in my truck, because my 2 options right now are either start hitting the next flag in preparation for us to full cap, or flank around that spawn and try to deal with it to confirm our full cap. Looks Krasny cut. Eng, is Krasny this? Here, do you remember? Fucking marking while driving.
I don't remember.
We got different 4th caps than RAAS V1 or RAAS V2, and I'm trying to figure them out. At the very least, I think Radio Tower is one of them, or Outpost is. Outpost is south of me, I think. We're just gonna chill till we see it. I don't have enough knowledge of Belaya without going to squad maps to figure this shit out.
That.
Yeah, that's Outpost. This is Outpost.
one.
This is fucking Kalushev or something.
I think your second marker is Krasny.
No, that one's.
I think the
Krasny,
other-
one on Bravo is Kuleshov.
I'll just build center then. Okay, I'm gonna need a 3rd capper. If anyone's down, give up, get ready to spawn down here. At this point, it's still kinda 50-50 on Nicola. I think we have a slight advantage, but I'm committed to building this fob so we at least are ready for the next flag. I can go back if needed. Krasny.
IED's in the air. It's over Nicola. Also have his overrun on Nicola.
They would have already seen us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd put Abbas somewhere to the west.
I think the radio north on Nikolai is going to be deleted.
Oh, I'm
We're not going to have a
supposed
spawn on Nikolai.
100%.
So the situation is deteriorating on the mid, but we full capped, so we opened up their vulnerability, they're not here, and we have at the very least a super easy double neutral. Join me on Krasny when I build this fob, please. Krasny cut down here where I'm building the fob, way down south.
Krasny, okay, Roger.
Radio in Nicola.
He joined. Is he in
How do you
Discord with us?
want me to drive something down, or should I wait for something?
Just wait for the spawn to come up. I'm building a
Alright,
hybrid.
I'll wait. Roger that.
Okay, how soon till you guys are spawning on rally? We can start capping pretty soon here.
BMP is dead. Nick.
Spawning rally. That's 3.
I also have preheat with his squad. He made a squad. They're all gonna come down.
Thank you, Steph.
Okay, we're capping Krasny. Sorry, I kind of fucked this fob here.
Welcome, brother. Why aren't you in the Discord?
Should I? Well, social is brand new to the
You
game.
don't have to if you
Cool
want
we
to.
invite him.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I just didn't
Is
want-
that
I think you have
enemy
permission
have on
to
T7
invite people.
accurate?
If not, let me know and I'll invite them.
We love
Yeah,
inviting
you-
new
you
people
do.
to our Discord
Okay.
so they could join
What are you
and then
digging?
they could listen to us bitch.
You do need permission. I was gonna send one.
So at this point, I've used all the supply in my logi. Before I can keep going, I need to get that back to main. So what I'm doing right now is I'm picking up my rally point and putting it down as a second spawn here. I do have the choice of just grabbing it, getting in the truck, and taking my squad to where I assume the next flag will be. Since it's fairly likely that we'll capture this no problem, it's decently likely that we'll hold Nicola, and I can still move to the next flag even without a good spawn if I just get my rally down and at least start neutralizing it. But instead I'm going to go the slightly more cautious route, get us a slightly better spawning position on this flag here, and then hope that they're able to hold Nicola while I do a logi run and try to get more supplies here to get a more firm hold on Krasny. I also honestly want to give the enemy team a bit of a break and give them more opportunity to get to their defense. We basically have the win in the bag with this flag capture, so I'm not really interested in killing the server in the process.
West side.
Alright, first contact west of Krasny.
Hey, Bob,
behind the little rook. I'm gonna bleed up.
Invite.
He's naded, sir. He's east of your helmet, east side of the lake.
There's a
rock
techie
on the
right
map.
here, driving in. Observe mark.
Hey guys, Captain Kraz.
Otherwise, he's still in
Yeah, we're near Rachel. There's a guy on the other side of the road here, in Defilade. Where the fuck did he go? Oh, he's dead. SPG on his head.
Clearing the objective.
Can one of you go help him?
All dead, thank you. Coming to New York.
There's a guy from the south with the SPG techie. And an IED drone, or a drone of some kind. Shoot that out if you can. Yeah, you're clear to leave Krasny now, I believe, or Nikola.
Cool, I'll have my funds.
I'm not in position to hit the next flag in line. I'll tell you where it's going to be, though. Give me a sec.
How about I take Forrest's truck? It's right here. On the far west.
SPG's now.
Babenki and Aniva. I think those two are on my stars down southeast. Those are going to be the next flags, I believe, if anyone's in position to hit them.
I'll go from May.
I could also use one more squad on Krasny, probably. I'm just a 5-man. So from this point, I'm mostly having my guys prioritize blocking cap range, because I assume the next squad will probably neutralize the next flag. There is a spawn somewhere to the west, and normally I would be grabbing people in the truck and taking them there to flank it. But on a flag capture like this, which is turning into a flag defense in this kind of game, I'm more relying on holding cap for long enough to get to the next flag, more than I'm relying on actually making the defense sustainable. The attack from the west is not going to stop coming until that spawn's disabled, and if I needed to hold this flag for a significant amount of time, that would be my top priority. But I'm kind of waiting to see if I'm going to need to do that, or if the squad that's coming down to hit the next flag is just going to waltz right in like we've been doing. Now, to be fair to the enemy team, we were very, very fast on their next flag in line. But in squad, you always need to assume that if you are losing a flag, when that flag is full captured by the enemy team, your next flag in line is immediately going to be neutralized as well. It's less common on RAAS because fewer people have as much RAAS information as I have, but you still need to assume that it's going to be true and you still need to react. Once again, if I was at the midpoint in the situation that we were in, and we lost that northwest fob and it immediately got overrun, and then they started pushing our southwest fob too, and things started to look very poor on that flag, my immediate priority would have been getting to coal mine in the same amount of time it took me to get to the offense objective. It all just depends on how the mid is going. And if the enemy team had somebody on their side who was thinking the same way, who started to recognize when the mid was going south and immediately reacted and went to their defense, this match would have gone a lot differently. Now, the squad that decided to go on offense ends up taking quite a while to get everyone at main, and then quite a while to get down that east road, and then they build pretty far away from the flag and walk in. There is nobody on that flag. They're able to just walk in, no problem, but they did so quite cautiously. So it actually does get a little bit close on our flag here. We lose the rally to the west, and people start pushing in pretty hard from the west. Similarly, when I drive in to either set up more spawns or pick people up, a tank comes off the east road and starts closing me in. Infantry starts coming down from the north, and things start looking really bad. But Scrim spawned up north and flanked the spawn, found the radio, and dug it down a little bit and camped it to keep them from spawning out west. We had the support of people coming from the next flag who worked as a block and pushed into the contact, and we were, as a team, pretty easily able to hold the flag long enough to fully neutralize the next one.
Clear on Bravo.
Stiff, I need you spawning fast. Ready for a hot ass ride? Does this road even connect? It connects on the map, but this is squad.
How many vehicles off to your left of them?
Oh, I know. I'm aware of all the bullshit around me right now. That's why we're going the worst possible way.
I don't even think they noticed they're losing their last objective yet because no.
Enemy in front. He's gonna be on the road to the left. Right.
Right
They
or
gave up,
left?
dude.
Which left? Right, left.
Oh,
Wrong left.
Spirits are low.
Don't
Just
give up.
spawn at a Neva. If you're down, spawn at a Neva.
Mine would be 2.
I see him. He's right north.
But to be honest, my spirits are kind of low, and I'm on the winning team. Come on.
Well, there's our super low.
Okay, everyone's good to spawn at Neva. Krasny's done for.
Press low.
Just die when you can, spawn a Neva.
What was that?
I'm getting shot by a Dishka, that's interesting.
Sound like an AED well.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna bring you supplies, 3.
Commander, God bless.
Yeah, taking the radio down one level so it stops them from spawning, right?
Correct. Oh, mother.
So in conclusion, yeah, this was a bit of a roll. We had a decent team, they were all communicating, they were all going to the right places, and the enemy team didn't even show up to half the midpoints they had an advantage on. It's kind of understandable since it's RAAS and a lot of people don't understand exactly how to play it or where the mids are going to be. But even then, the mid that they did end up getting to, that actually ended up being the objective itself, they really failed to effectively defend. They built one spawn there and they all worked off of it, rather than building multiple spawns or spreading out across the entire objective to catch that totally unarmored Logi that essentially had its pants down as it went up the north. The enemy team also failed to react to us getting a favorable position on the mid. Like I said before, it is pretty uncommon for somebody like me to be on the enemy team who knows exactly where your next flags are going to be and will basically be there the moment they become capable. So you could excuse the enemy team a little bit for being late there, but the last flag, their Mercy Bleed, there's really no excuse for that. They had all the time in the world to drive the short distance out of main to that flag and start preparing a defense there. And the fact that they didn't suggests that they were either being lazy and didn't want to play defense, or they were just making a very, very bad gamble that did not pay off in their favor whatsoever. In the end, this is just another of countless examples of how you can turn a decent advantage on a mid, turning into a flag capture, into an instant game win if you just are good enough in the mobility department. If you can get there fast enough, build your spawns fast enough, and outpace the enemy. This is super common in pub games, and you can replicate this yourself fairly easily.
It's all because Captain joined.
Oh, never mind.
They can't think for themselves, so we have to do it for them.
That's squad though, isn't it? I had so many bad games tonight because like the team just wasn't thinking.
They never stood much of a chance. They didn't push mids, they didn't defend
The
flags.
collab didn't see
I
coming.
don't know.
I request you change your name before you go back to Jimmy's, Billy. I just realized what your Discord name was, you fuck.